Hello. Speaker test 1, 2, 3. IT. Can you hear me?
Okay, I hear you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Prof.
Okay.
Thank you, Prof. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our international webinar event, Visiting Professor Program, with the topic, Human Resource Strategies in Developing Small Businesses. This international webinar collaborates 6 universities, which are Universitas Medan Area, Universitas Teknologi Mara, University of Bahrain, Universitas Riau Kepulauan, STIE Mahardika Surabaya, and Universitas Muhammadiyah Sidoarjo. It's my pleasure to moderate this event, which held on today, August 9, 2022. My name is Siti Alhamra Salkaura from Universitas Medan Area as the moderator on this event. Special thanks to the Honorable Professor Dr. Dadan Ramdan, MSc, as Director of Universitas Medan Area, and then Sir Ahmad Rafiki BBA Hongs, MMGT PhD SIMA, as the Dean of Economy and Business Faculty, and also special thanks to the Honorable Dr. Norashikin Hussein from Universitas Teknologi Mara. Good morning, Madam. And then Assistant Professor Dr. Muzaffar Asad from University of Bahrain, Professor Dr. Sri Langgeng Ratnasari SAMM from Universitas Riau Kepulauan, and then the Honorable Dr. Asmirin Nur SAMM from STIE Mahardika Surabaya, and then the Honorable Dr. Sriono Dr. Andus MM from Universitas Muhammadiyah Sidoarjo, and the last one, the Honorable Dr. Ahmad Rafiki BBA Hongs, MMGT PhD, as the Dean of Universitas Medan Area. And also, all the participants in this room from Management Department of Faculty of Economic and Business and from other university. Before we are going further on this event, please give me a second to read our rundown of this Visiting Professor Program. First is the opening by MC, by me, myself. And then the second one is the remarks, opening speech from the Rector of Universitas Medan Area, Professor Dr. Dadan Ramdan, MSc. And then there will be a speaker from Universitas Riau Kepulauan, Ibu Profesor Dr. Sri Langgeng Ratnasari SAMM. And then the next speaker will be from University Teknologi Mara, Ibu Dr. Ibu Dr. Norashikin Hussein. And then the next speaker from University of Bahrain, Sir Assistant Professor Dr. Muzaffar Asad. And then the next one is speaker from Universitas Medan Area, Bapak Ahmad Rafiki BBA Hongs, MMGT PhD. And the next speaker from STIE Mahardika Surabaya, there is Dr. Asmirin Nur, SAMM. And the last speaker will be from Universitas Muhammadiyah Sidoarjo, Bapak Dr. Sriono Dr. Andus MM. And there will be a Q&A session in the last session. And there will be a taking picture together and will be close this event. Every presenter has 20 minutes to present the material. Ladies and gentlemen, just to remind you once more, to all the participants, please turn off and mute the speaker before we start the webinar to ensure our program can be done smoothly or without any disruption. And then let's open this event by citing Basmalah, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And now we are moving to the first agenda. We will hear the opening speech from Professor Dr. Dadan Ramdan, MSc, as Director of Universitas Medan Area. For Professor Dr. Dadan Ramdan, MSc, please, sir, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala anbiya'il mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarikalah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Rabbi shalli sadri wa yassir amri wa hlul 'uqdatam yafqahu qawli. The Honorable the speakers in this international webinar, Dr. Reskilling Hussein, a senior lecturer from Faculty of Business and Management, University of Technology Mara, then the Honorable Associate Professor Dr. Muzaffar Asad, senior lecturer from Faculty of Business Administration, University of Bahrain, and then the Honorable Professor Dr. Sri Langgeng Ratnasari, SMM, from Universitas Riau Kepulauan, and the Honorable Dr. Asmirin Nur, SMM, from STE Mahardika, Surabaya, and then the Honorable Dr. Saryono, Dr. SMM, CRQNR, from Das Muhammadiyah Sidoarjo, and also the Honorable Bapak Ahmad Rafiki, BA Hons, MNGT, PhD, CMIA, as Dean of Economics and Business Faculty in the Medan Area, and also Siti Alhamra Saltora, SMSE, as the creator of the international webinar today. And also there are participants who attend the online international seminar entitled Human Resources Strategies in Developing Small Business. That's one of the implementation of visiting professor program conducted by Economics and Business Faculty of Universitas Medan Area and Universitas Muhammadiyah Malang, Sidoarjo. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank God for the presence of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, because we are still given the opportunity to gather in this event or in this seminar in good health, without any shortcomings. Thank you for the opportunity given to me to be able to give a word or two at this time. Ladies and gentlemen, on this great day, I would like to thank and greatly appreciate the willingness of Universitas Muhammadiyah Malang for taking time to organize the international webinar together with Economics and Business Faculty of Universitas Medan Area. I do hope that apart from being a step to strengthen the relationship between Universitas Medan Area and Universitas Muhammadiyah Malang, the activity is also expected to provide positive benefit for both parties, especially in the field of three pillars of higher education. Ladies and gentlemen, in accordance with the topic of the international webinar today, we all realize that human resources are one of the most important elements for a small business or company to run properly. Without human resources, the company will find it difficult to operate even though other resources have been met. Most people know that the main role of human resources is a division in charge of managing employees. But today, human resources responsibilities have expanded not only to find and recruit new employees to the company, but also to improve the performance of a small company. They can make many aspects of the small company more effective and efficient. Thus, the existence of human resources is difficulty needed even if only in a small scale business. This idea that human resources system is only needed by large scale business is a big mistake. Human resources system also has a big impact on small business to be able to develop into large scale businesses. It provides a benefit services both for employees and the company. Ladies and gentlemen, based on that, I mentioned it before, we are going to listen, also share and discuss further about human resources strategies in developing small business. With the 6 speakers who have made their time to share their thought, experience, and ideas regarding the topic of the International Winter Day. Finally, it is expected that the event could provide positive benefits for all parties involved. Thank you so much for all committee for your cooperation and also for all participants on this event. May you and your family are always surrounded with prosperity, health, peace, and full blessing from the Almighty God, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Thank you for your attention. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning.
Okay, thank you for Professor Dr. Dadan Ramdan, M.Eng MSc, for the opening speech. So as we know that as Professor Dadan said that the existence of human resource management can improve the performance, especially in small businesses. So now we are moving into the next agenda, which is a presentation of Professor Dr. Sri Langgeng Ratnasari. Is the Professor Dr. Sri Langgeng Ratnasari SAMM already exist? Present in this seminar? Not yet. Okay, if not yet, maybe we are going to hear about the presentation the first time from Dr. Nora Shikin Hussein. For Dr. Nora Shikin Hussein, are you here, Doctor?
Yes, I am here. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, yes, Madam. Yes, Dr. Nora Shikin. Dr. Nora Shikin, since Professor Dr. Sri Langgeng Ratnasari perhaps a little bit late, so we ask you please to present first. Is it okay, Doctor?
Yes. Can I share my screen?
Oh, of course, Doctor. Wait a minute, please. Can you share it now, Doctor?
Okay, hold on. Okay. Right. Can you see my presentation?
Yes, doctor. Okay, Dr. Narashikin Hussein, the time is yours. We can see your presentation.
Okay. Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. Firstly, I would like to thank the organizer and for inviting me for this talk. Right, this is my first time sharing a Malaysian perspective of HR strategies in the context of small businesses in Malaysia. And good morning, Assalamualaikum to all the distinguished professors and academics. And my name is Nora Shikin binti Hussein. You can call me Dr. Nora. Yeah, and I am from the Faculty of Business and Management, University Technology Mara, Malaysia. So today I'll be sharing a topic on HR strategies in developing small businesses in the context of Malaysia. Okay, how do I go? Right. So in Malaysia, small businesses are called as SMEs, small medium enterprise. All right. So in Malaysia, all these SMEs, they are under the Ministry of Entrepreneur Development and Cooperatives, which we call KUSKOP. All right. And there is actually a body that govern all these SMEs in Malaysia are called SME Corporation Malaysia, or we call it SME Corp. So SME Corp, they have a mission of promoting the development of competitive, innovative, and resilient SMEs through the effective coordination and provision of business support. All right. So in a way, this SME Corp take care or manage all the SMEs registered in Malaysia across all the related ministries and also agencies. Yeah, and this SME Corp, it also acts as the central point of reference for research, you know, anything, any data related to SMEs and entrepreneurs. And they also provide business advisory services for the SMEs and also entrepreneurs throughout Malaysia. Okay, so let me give you some insight on how Malaysia classify or categorize their SMEs. Okay, Malaysia, we have around 32.3 million of population, yeah, and we are also a multiracial country. And if you look at how SME Corp categorize the groups of SMEs, they actually divided this industry into micro business, small business, or medium business. How do we determine whether the business is micro, small, and medium? It depends on the sales turnover and also the number of employees. Okay, for example, if let's say the SMEs is in the manufacturing sector, their attributes or characteristic are the sales turnover must be less than 300,000 or they have less than 5 number of employees. They will be categorized as small if their sales turnover is less than 15 million, but more than 300,000 or having 5 to at least 74 employees, and they are categorized as medium businesses if their employees are between 70 to 199 employees and their sales turnover is less than 50 million. So manufacturing definitely has a higher characteristic compared to other services and also sectors. Okay, so this is the data that I got from SMEs. Okay, it is quite latest, which is in February 2022. Okay, in Malaysia, if you look at the Malaysian small and medium enterprise, majority of the firms are categorized as services. Okay, this is followed by construction, manufacturing, agriculture, and also mining and quarrying. And in Malaysia, majority of the SMEs are categorized as micro. Yeah, so total as of the data that I have obtained, we have around 1,226,494 Malaysian SMEs. Okay, before we start about HR strategies that is important in developing small business, I think it is important to distinguish that HR strategies differs in terms of large corporation and small businesses. Okay, so if you look at small businesses, for example, their resources are quite limited, all right? What do I mean by limited resources? It means that normally their human resource team are quite small, 1 to 3 employees. They also have a very restrictive budget, okay? And then they cannot afford to do much when it comes to employee training, due to restrictions such as less manpower, less budget, okay, team building, okay, and long-term work policy development, which has led these small businesses to be more creative and innovative in managing its employees. Okay, and this is definitely different compared to large corporation where they have a bigger HR team, all right, and their budget on recreation and managing of employees are definitely higher. Okay, number 2, in terms of recruitment and retention process, normally small businesses may opt for affordable solution. Large corporation, for example, they may have the advantage of hiring a recruitment agency or even headhunters to source for potential candidates. Yeah, but small businesses, their selections of hiring methods, for example, are quite limited. All right, and normally if you look at their selection and also hiring method are quite simple, all right, and this is different compared to large corporation because they have various hiring practices. If you go to MNCs, for example, multinational corporation, you definitely have multiple rounds of interview, okay, another round of assessment test, okay, you would have a background and reference check. Okay, and this is definitely different from small businesses where everything is very simplified. Yeah, and large organization, large corporation, they can afford to outsource their recruitment process, whether they totally outsource their recruitment process or partially hire a third party to do it. All right, and then however, when it comes to retention, perhaps small businesses are at advantage where they know each other. Yeah, and less bureaucracy, yeah, in terms of having communication, informal communication with the top management. Okay, so this in a way indicate that, in terms of recruitment and retention process, there is actually a difference between large corporation and small businesses. Okay, next, level of responsibilities. If you look at small businesses, many owners and managers, they have to wear more than one hat, when it comes to HR. They need to do training, they need to do hiring, they need to also conduct training and development, okay? In fact, some businesses may even have one person handling HR, right? So this one person, for example, are responsible to do administrative work, okay? At the same time, they also have to do payroll, they also have to do recruitment and training. And this is definitely different compared to large corporation where the HR department are very specialized. They even have a department, for example, training and development department, or recruitment and selection department, which is very specialized. Okay, and lastly, we talk about organizational structure. If you look at a typical large organization, they have a formal and well-established organizational hierarchy. So that means their HR department are also quite comprehensive and well-established. Okay, and in a way, this can benefit the large corporation by, reducing workloads. Okay, in a way that, everybody, each employee knows what to do. Their tasks are quite segregated and divided effectively. Okay, however, if you look at the small businesses, they have limited or lack of well-established structure and processes, and sometimes it also involves family businesses where anything related to human resource or their employees have to be handled on a case-to-case basis. Okay, so what I am saying is that the HR strategies depends on the nature of the businesses, whether you have a large corporation or, small businesses, because it differs. Okay, small businesses may, their HR strategies may need to be tailored based on their context and capabilities as compared to the large corporation. Okay, so these are some of the studies that I found in Malaysia on Malaysian SMEs. Yeah, for example, Kafeki and Hani, they conducted this study among 200 SMEs owners in Malaysia. So based on their findings, they highlighted that the Malaysian SMEs agree that the HR issues are significant, important to them, to the Malaysian SMEs. However, based on rank, they think the most important HRM strategies would be in terms of recognition and reward practices. Okay, this is followed by bonuses and incentive. And the third one is in terms of training. So these are some of the HR strategies that are perceived as important by the 200 SMEs surveyed in this study. Okay, next study, it is by Siti Zubaida and Mazwin. Okay, they actually conducted a quantitative study among 175 respondents from 18 SMEs in Malaysia. So these 18 SMEs, they actually participated in Quality Management Excellence Award in 2013. So based on the study findings, they found out that in order for the SMEs to be ready to change, it is important that the company to have training and development, okay, compensation and benefit, and also an effective performance appraisal, right? Okay, and the last study that I would like to share with you is from Kalyanan, Abraham, and also Punusami. This study was conducted in 2016. Okay, this study was conducted qualitatively. That means the researchers actually interview a few SME owners, okay, and also employees. All right, so they found out that there is actually a gap between employees and employers in terms of expectation of HR strategies in SMEs. Okay, for example, what employees want is actually they are looking for better training opportunities, yeah, and some form of remuneration and recognition. They want better benefit, all right, they want a better salary, they want better compensation at work. All right, and the employees also expect a more decent, a more conducive work environment, because by having this kind of environment, then only they can be innovative and they can perform better at their work. All right, and based on this study, it is also mentioned that it is important that the management of the SMEs to be more transparent, okay, and to have more open communication. Why this is important? Because according to them, it is essential in building trust, right, among employees and also the top management of SMEs, which cultivates commitment and job satisfaction that eventually would retain employees to stay in the organization. Okay, so these are some of the previous studies that I have found on some HR strategies that are deemed important in developing small businesses. Okay, so my suggestion, all right, what kind of HR strategies that is important in developing small businesses? Okay, if we talk about HR strategies, it can actually be portrayed, okay, through human resource practices. Okay, and if you search the literature, there are actually 26 HR practices available in the literature. All right, so which one is actually important? All right, so for this case, based on the Malaysian experience, number one would be the recruitment and selection, the talent acquisition. Yeah, it is important to hire the right employees. All right, okay, because employees are the asset of the organization. These are the people that is important to ensure that the objective of the organization are being met. So how does this possible for the small businesses? Number one, they need to have a good recruiting strategy. Okay, because if you look at what I have highlighted just now, everything in small businesses are very simplified. All right, so it is important that small businesses to have a good recruiting strategy where they are able to meet the company goals, yeah, maintain a robust hiring funnel, and also build community relationship. So one of the recruiting strategy that the small businesses can learn is to have a specific job description. Okay, because if I read some of the articles, they mention that small businesses, when they advertise their job advertisement, their job description is quite generic. All right, and what is the consequences? The consequences is that they cannot find the right candidate for the job. Okay, because everything is simplified. Okay, and this goes also for effective selection method, where the small businesses, they need to determine what are the selection method that is suitable for the job that they are looking for. Are they going to use personality tests? Are they going to use interview? Okay, is the question that they ask during interview are valid? Okay, so these are all goes back to having a good recruiting and also hiring strategy in getting the correct people to the job in the context of SMEs. Okay, number two, it is important that the small businesses to reskill their force. Okay, and we are still dealing with the pandemic crisis of COVID-19. So now in Malaysia, for example, COVID-19 is being treated as endemic. So a lot of us we work in the office, but during the pandemic of COVID-19, a lot of training are being done through online platform. Yeah, and we also talk about small businesses where their financial resources are quite limited. So one of the ways perhaps that they want to reconsider is using online platform to provide training to their employees. For example, the HR can actually custom course or create a virtual or live learning environment for their employees. Why this is important? Because the employees need to be updated with the latest knowledge, skills, and also attitude for the current job and also for the future job. Okay, third is employee engagement.
Doctor?
Yes?
Pardon, Doctor. The time is 4 minutes left, Doctor.
All right. Okay.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, thank you. All right. Next is employee engagement. Okay, this is not only applicable to big companies, it is also important for small companies where the more employees engage to their work, to the organization, then it would definitely lead to better employee retention, all right, and a happier workplace. And next, we talk about rewarding and recognizing employee effort. This is through benefits, through salary, through remuneration, and the fact that, you know, small businesses have limited resources, then they have to be extra creative in exploring more non-financial benefit to attract future job applicants, and also to ensure that their existing employees are happy with the job. Okay, and next is definitely performance management. If you look at small businesses, many companies don't have a proper performance management process. Some don't even actually evaluate their employees. So it is important that they conduct a regular performance review, okay, where both parties, the employer and employees, can give feedback in terms of their responsibilities and also performance. And last but not least, it is very important that small businesses to have a dedicated HR staff. Even though the number is small, all right, it is important that, you know, these people help the organization in managing their businesses. All right, that's all. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Nora Shikin Hussein, for a very insightful presentation and so comprehensive data, because now we know that in Malaysia there is a KUSKOP, and then the majority is a micro small business, and then the service is the field mostly in service field. And now we are going further to the material from Sir Ahmad Rafiki, BBA Hongs, MMGT PhD, to Sir Ahmad Rafiki, BBA Hongs.
Okay.
The time is yours, sir.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Siti Alhamra. Let me share my slide. Can you see my slide? Ms. Aura, can you see?
Yes, sir. Yes, we can see your slide, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Wa bihi nasta'in ala umuri dunya wad din. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin. Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Rabbi sholli sodri wa yassir li amri wa hludatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Honorable Rector of University Medan Area, Professor Dadan Ramdan, and Honorable the speakers today, we have Professor Sri Langgam Ratnasari from Universitas Riau Kepulauan, and then our speaker from University Teknologi Mara, Dr. Nora Shikin Hussein, and next also we have our speaker from University of Bahrain, Professor Dr. Muzaffar Asad, and then our speaker from Mahardika Surabaya, STIA Mahardika Surabaya, Dr. Asmirin Nur, and the last one is Dr. Sriyono from University Muhammadiyah Sidoarjo. Today, I would like to thank to all the organizer, and let me share a little bit information related to human resources strategies in developing small business. Okay, this is the strategic indicators I got from the Ministry of Cooperative and SMEs in Indonesia. I think we have the same term also like in Malaysia. They call SMEs. We also in Indonesia we call as SMEs. And even the ministry name also a little bit similar. we call as Ministry of Cooperative and SMEs. So both of these countries have similarities in terms of the term related to SMEs. And we can see this is the strategic indicators that the ministry want to achieve. Number one is how the small businesses increase in contribution on GDP, gross domestic product. And the second one, the government also try to have some program how to increase in export volume. This is also include the relationship of our cooperation with other countries. Then at the end, we can increase the volume of the export. Otherwise, without any relationship or cooperation with other countries, it seems that we can increase our volume of export. So not only the SMEs, the entrepreneurs that need to improve their product to be innovative product, but also we have to get collaboration and cooperation with other countries. And the third one is to increase in number of startups. So I think this is very popular nowadays that every millennials, they try to understand what is startup. And also the government try to open the platform or any program that at the end how to increase the number of startup. This is not as simple as we think. Actually, startup is not only opening the venture, but also there are many steps that we have to undertake before we consider that company called as startup. So this is also the third one that the government, the ministry want to achieve. The fourth one is the development in modernization of SMEs. So SMEs need to progress, need to develop their product, systems, the company, the human resources, and so on. So in my opinion, the government of Indonesia, I think they have many programs, many initiatives that try to modernize our SMEs in many ways, not only product, but just now I mentioned also in terms of the systems and even in some extent the what we call the mechanism, the what we call the bureaucracy, yeah, that the government try to find the solution. The fifth one is the increase in SMEs level. So level means there are many meanings. Level means, of course, include in terms of increase in volume of export, include also in terms of how to contribute to GDP and many things. So when we call as increase in SMEs level, means they are now moved to the up level, move to the level, the standard that we want. So that is the what I call the higher one, the higher level of the steps or the indicators that the government want to achieve. So this is the 5 indicators that we want the SMEs have some development. Not only the government, but we include our as the academician, the practitioners, the entrepreneurs, the businessmen. So all of us have to involve how to make these 5 happening. So this is the indicators, and I'm not because as mentioned by Dr. Nora Shikin just now, this is very big picture. Small business is very big picture. So me myself, is right now involved in academician and also involved in research. So try to look these HR strategies from the academic point of view. Not for, I'm not the what you call the government servant, and I'm not the entrepreneurs, and I'm not also the consumers. Yeah, but sometimes yes, I'm the consumers, but more involved in research and academic things. So that's why my presentation is more on academic point of view. So what is in this data, we can see when we retrieve the documents in one of the popular database, very reputable database, we call it Scopus. So we can find how intensive, how dedicated the research have been done. Just now, Dr. Narashikin also mentioned some of the research that have been conducted in Malaysia, but we can try to look to other countries, yeah, include also Indonesia. So if you look at to this picture in my right side, so there is increase, yeah, there is an increased number of documents have been published by many researchers that concern on HR strategies, especially in SMEs. Yeah, from in 1994 until today, yeah, for example, 2022, yeah, there is a significant increase in terms of number of documents have been produced by researchers. And when we look at to the country here, yeah, the most productive country is UK, and then in Indonesia, yeah, because we know Indonesia have about 62 million of SMEs, number of SMEs. So it is what we call a normal, yeah, normal that our research, yeah, also become more than other countries. Yeah, that is my opinion. Yeah. So number one is UK, yeah, number two in Indonesia, number three is Spain, and so on. And we have our neighbor Malaysia in number five, number six, yeah, and other countries, India, Australia, and also Czech Republic. So this indicating that this is the countries that more concern on HR strategies or HR practices that need to be implemented in SMEs. Yeah. And when we look at to the next one, yeah, next data, again, it is from database we call as Scopus. So in the right side, in my right side, we can see this type of document. Yeah. So majority of the document we call as article, which is considered as empirical studies. Yeah. So still dominant. Yeah. Still dominant, 67%. Yeah. Instead of other type of document, for example, like chapter and then conference papers and then a book. Yeah. So this is still not a very high percentage in terms of document that been produced by researchers. Yeah. So this is indicating that we can conclude that how to touch the stakeholders. Yeah. The stakeholders is consist of not only academician. Yeah. Academician can read the articles, can read can read the empirical studies, but not all consumers, which, for example, they are what we call a common consumers, or maybe they have not not in the better education, for example, they cannot read the empirical studies, but maybe they can read book. They can read book chapters. Then include also the entrepreneurs, because entrepreneurs, they have various background. So for them, maybe good for them is to read the book, read the book chapters. Then they can understand, they can learn, and then they can improve their knowledge. Then they can implement in their SMEs. So this is our analysis. So for us, like we are academicians, yes, we understand the empirical studies, but we are not entrepreneurs. Somehow we are not entrepreneurs. So this is also a little bit difficult for us to implement, because we are not in the field, as the researchers or the academician, So from this data, we can, for example, next, in the next step, how we can distribute our document not only to empirical studies, but also more on book chapters and book that can be read and can be understood easily by the entrepreneurs or the common people, the public, and so on. And in the left side, you can see this the affiliation, which universities that actively doing research. For example, here we can pick one of them. In Malaysia, we can see University Utara Malaysia. So one of the active university that involved in SMEs, especially related to human resources strategies. And we have in our country, Indonesia, we have Brawijaya University. So this is indicating that I'm not mentioning other universities because some of them is located in Europe. But for your information, you can see this. But for me, the highlighted one is we can pick up Malaysia one and also Indonesia one. So this is the data that we can analyze, and we can take some progress in the future. And then I just highlighted, I just do some bibliographic analysis and some of literature analysis, and pick up some point, pick up some important statements from research that I've read. Just now, Dr. Norashikin also read some findings from articles. For me, I just highlight some statement. How important the human resources in SMEs. Number one is a strong correlation between HR involvement and organizational effectiveness. We can see, if you want to adopt effectiveness, do some effectiveness in your organization, SMEs, what to do is you have to put in the HR practices. There is no other ways. Put in, implement HR practices, then you can achieve effectiveness in your daily business operation. And the second one is the increasing number of studies have attempted to assess the HR involvement in the process of formulating strategy. So this is have been cited by many scholars. So it means HR is very important. For example, when you want to formulate strategy, as entrepreneurs, you want to formulate strategy, what you have to possess is you have to involve the HR practices in your strategy. If not, so we can say that your strategy cannot be implemented. It cannot be implemented well. So HR strategy, one of the important aspects that you have to consider when you are formulating strategy. I think when you learn strategic management, formulating a strategy is number one, one of the steps that you have to implement. So again, I repeat, without HR involvement, you cannot formulate strategy. The third one, in the high performance firm, human resources have been more involved in the process of formulating strategy, than in low performance one. So this is indicating that the high performance firm, SMEs, yeah, the good one, the excellent one, yeah, they have been done the process of formulating strategy, yeah, and involve the human resources, yeah. Compared to the low performance ones, you can check later on, you can survey later on, yeah, they are not involving human resource in the formulating strategy. That is the fact, yeah. If you compare the high performance ones, the high performance firm and the low performance ones, yeah. And the fourth one, HR capability of the firm is considerable resources that determines the competitive advantage of the firm. So competitive advantage is very important in many organizations. Yeah. So one of the requirement when you are creating the competitive advantage, you must include, you must put in the HR practices in creating, in the process of creating competitive advantage. Then increasing HR capacities of the firm will positively correlate with the increasing performance of the firm. Again, yeah, how important of the HR in SMEs. Yeah. So when you have capacities in your HR, increasing capacities, absolutely, obviously, it will increase your performance. This is based on the research findings. And then human resources could be related to the CEO's perception of the importance of HR as the key resource of the firm. Yeah. This is the perception of CEOs, the managing directors, the managers, and so on. Yeah. So they admitted, they recognize, they understand, they learn that the human resources is very important aspect or as the key resources of the firm. Yeah. So this is, we cannot deny anymore. This is obviously very important aspect. Yeah, the HR is very important aspect. The fourth one, primarily the study has focused on the nature of relationship of between HR capabilities and the performance of the firm. Yeah. Just now, I think Dr. Norosikin mentioned, even if you are with single person in your organization, in your SMEs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for example, you still need human resource capabilities. Yeah, not only you till become, you have, for example, 20 or 50 or 100 employees. Yeah, even if you have 1 or 3, yeah, you still need HR capabilities. Yeah, that is the point. And then it has been stressed that the integration of HR and strategy was greater when top managers view employees as strategic resources. Again, yeah, this is, I think, when you read many articles, you will find, yeah, how the top managers, the CEOs, have concern, have emphasis, have what we call concentration, yeah, and focus on HR strategies, yeah, because they know without this the small firm cannot be improved, yeah, or sometimes cannot be survived, yeah. So this is the things that we have to understand. The strategic role of the HRM system has become more critical, yeah, and this is again, yeah, more critical means we know that when you learn about SMEs, yeah, we have 5 years survival period. Yeah, so there are many mortality, in between these 5 years. So some of them collapse in the 3rd year. Some of them gone in the 2nd year and the 2nd year. Some of them, even after a few months, they are, gone. Yeah, maybe close. Yeah, maybe collapse. Yeah. So that's why, yeah, when we relate to the mortality of the mortality period of the SMEs, which is 5 years, so how to give the solution for them is they have to learn about human resources. Then they can move, yeah, or we can get out from this critical period, or we can say survival period of the SMEs. then HR not only must focus on business level outcome, but also it must transform itself into a strategic core competency rather than being a market follower. This is very clear and very obvious that again it is HR is the things that can make our company become the leader, not the follower. HR as a source of organizational capabilities that allows firm to learn and capitalize on new opportunities. So when you are looking for new opportunities, there is no other option, there is no other ways, there is no other alternative other than HR. Opportunities we can say equalized by HR. HR is opportunities. Without HR, there is no opportunities. This is the statement that have been emphasized by Ulrich and Lake in 1990. This is 40 years back. Okay, then I just try to summarize the crucial contributors for HR strategies. Customer satisfaction through assured quality. This is very long discussion actually. If you want to discuss this very short statement, HR is equivalent with the quality. Quality is equivalent with the satisfaction. Without HR, there is no quality, there is no satisfaction. That's simply we can announce that statement. And network with local industries. So this is a network. Again, simply, of course, this is very long discussion. We want to discuss this, but if you want to summarize, HR, how to make our HR having competencies, capabilities, then they can, communicate, they can associate with other people outside, many business association. So this comes from HR strategies. Without HR strategies, there is no association, there is no network, and there is no cooperation, collaboration, and there is no export, and there is no increase in volume, and there is no GDP, and so on. So this is very like a chain, like a value chain. So once you have done this HR, so inshallah you can get what we want to achieve. Increase in many things, like the volume of export and modernization and so on. And the last one is employee management. So I think employee is very important aspect to be successful. So how you manage your employees is very important. How to create a commitment, create a loyalty, create engagement, and include also how to put in the spirituality, the religiosity. This is also among others that the aspect that we need to include in the employee management. Not only commitment, not only loyalty, but some religious things that nowadays we can include in order to manage our employee well and appropriate.
Pardon,
Yes.
Dr. Ahmad Rafiki, perhaps 4 minutes left.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yes,
Doctor.
the second last slide. Thank you, Ms. Aura. So again, I think some of these things have been explained by Dr. Nora Shikin. For example, like recruiting, training and development, workforce planning, administrative and compliance, and establishing system. So this is also among the things that must have, to be discussed. Okay, thank you very much. I think this is very short presentation, and I hope the things that have been presented have can be discussed later on in the next session, next webinar. And I think in our case in UMA Universitas Medan Area, we have many center of excellence that related to SMEs. For example, we have Center of Islamic Management and Halal Industry, also related more on SMEs, how we try to facilitate the SMEs in getting the halal certification, for example. And we also have Center of Digital and Entrepreneurial Marketing. So we try to facilitate some entrepreneurs or expose the entrepreneurs to digitalization. So this is our part in, especially in Faculty of Business, Faculty and Business of UMA. So this is our contribution. We try to contribute a little bit to society, to the business world, to the SMEs especially. Thank you, Ms. Aura. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Sir Ahmad Rafiki, BBA Hons, MMGT PhD, for the explanation and the data. So now we know that in terms of SME, the country who published the research in Scopus mostly are UK, Indonesia, Spain, China, US, and so on. And from, if I'm not mistaken, from 352 documents, start increase since 2006, yeah, Dr. Ahmad Rafiki, in Scopus area.
Yes.
Okay, and then now we move forward to Dr. Asmirin Nur, SAMM from STIE Mahardika Surabaya, to Dr. Asmirin Nur, SAMM. Please, sir, the time is yours.
Thank you, Ms. Siti Alhamra, as a moderator. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabihi ajma'in. Amma ba'du. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me share my screen.
Oh, I'm going to share your.
Yeah, I have.
Oh, you.
Okay.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you to the University of Muhammadiyah Malang, especially Honorable Professor Ahsanul Inam as a Director of Postgraduate, who has organized this visiting professor program. And then thanks to Professor Dr. Dadan Ramdan as Director of University of Medan area. And then thank you to other speaker. My respect to Ms. Norashikin Hussein from Mara University of Technology. And then my respect to Professor Dr. Mujaffar Ashad from University of Bahrain. And then Professor Dr. Sri Langgeng Ratnasari from University Riau Kepulauan, my mentor in this visiting professor program. And then thank you to Mr. Ahmad Rafiki. Thank you to Mr. Dr. Sriono from Muhammadiyah University of Muhammadiyah University in Sidoarjo. I will introduce myself. My name is Asmirin Nur from STIE Mahardika Surabaya. Maybe my presentation is different with the last other speaker, yeah, because my presentation about my research in Surabaya. The title of my strategy is Strategies for Enhancing Small Business Study Cash Coffee Shop in Surabaya. Okay, as we know, the COVID-19 has occurred since the beginning of 2020, had a very broad impact on the economy in our country. The government's policy that implement the enforcement of restriction on community activities or PPKM requires people to work from home, which greatly influence people's lives. At the beginning of the emergence of the pandemic, many sectors on the economy were disrupted. During pandemic, economic growth decline worse than during the 1997 economic crisis. The impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on economic actor resulted in a decrease in income. The implementation of PPKM will disrupt the company's cash flow and leading to bankruptcy. Some entrepreneurs think that the implementation of PPKM does not meet their business operational costs, and as a restaurant, the COVID-19 pandemic affect not only large companies but also small, micro, and medium enterprise. One of the business affected is the coffee shop business in Surabaya. After government gave PPKM relaxation at the end of 2021, coffee shop began to reopen for 24 hours. This is, of course, has an impact on increasing the income of coffee shop entrepreneur in Surabaya.
Dr. Asmirin,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Dokter.
Yeah.
Could you please diperbesar
Oh.
wider the screen, please, sir?
Okay. I don't know how can I make larger this because this is poster from.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay,
This is poster from Canvas. Yeah.
Okay, Dokter. Thank you, Dokter.
Okay, let me continue.
Yes, sir. Please.
Okay. Yeah, the purposes of this research first to find and analysis about what factor influence to people to drink in Surabaya, and then to find the dominant factor, and then to find what strategy for the owner of the coffee shop in Surabaya. The theory of this research, okay, the theory include marketing management and then marketing mix about product, price, promotion, place, service quality, and buying decision, of course. The conceptual framework like this. The conceptual framework is built from marketing management theory, especially those that influence purchasing decision at Surabaya coffee shop. This theory includes about marketing mix, product, price, promotion, place, and service quality, and purchasing decision. Okay, this is the operational definition. The definition of variable. First, variable product has 3 indicators. There are product quality, and then kind of product, and then test. The price has 4 indicators. There are affordability, suitability of benefit, can all, and then price competitiveness. The promotion has indicator advertising, personal selling, sales promotion, and then public relation, and then direct selling. Location or place has 4 indicators: easy access, comfortable, ample parking or large parking, near the crowd. And then service quality has 5 indicators: tangible, reliability, responsiveness, performance, and empathy. Okay, now about the result. Yeah, based on the reliability test result, it can be concluded that the 21 questions are reliable because Chromat alpha value of all items above 0.6. There are 0.9 to 8, and then About validity test, all statement items are declared valid because the Chrombat alpha value is above 0.5. And then I also testing about KMO and bar rate test. Based on KMO and bar rate test, number are 0.795 with a significant level of 0. Therefore, all existing variable and sample can be analyzed further. Okay, and then about discussion, yeah. Okay. Of the 21 variables set by the researcher, only 20 could be further analyzed using vector analysis. In the rotate component metric analyzed, only 18 variables have a vector loading above 1.5. And then the analysis results showed that buyer's decision is largely determined by the variable included in factor 1 and 5. In factor 1, there are variable of public relation and direct selling for promotion factor, and variable ease of access to place, comfort, and ample parking for a factor of place, as well in factor 2. There is a product test variable for a variable product, and then price suitability and competitiveness for price product. Okay, the strategy for the owner of the coffee shop in Surabaya. First, promotion strategy. Promotional strategy is a method used by companies to advertise, promote, and sell their goods. A company chooses its promotional strategy based on factors like product type, marketing budget, target audience, and then about advertising, personal selling, sales promotion, public relation, and direct selling or direct marketing. We have two dominant variable in promotional strategy. There are public relation and direct marketing or direct selling. And then the second strategy, place strategy. In place strategy, we have two variable, dominant variable. First is easy access, and then second, large parking. And then the third strategy about price. We have two dominant factor from place strategy: easy access and large parking. And then about product. But product, we have one factor. There is a test of product. And then about price. Yeah, about price, we have two factor. There are price suitability and price competitiveness. Okay, I think that's all my research. And thank you for everyone. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you for Dr. Asmirin Nur SAMM for the explanation and presentation. Even Dr. Asmirin Nur has presented his own research, Doctor. Thank you for the presentation.
Okay.
And now, let's move on to the Dr. Sriono Doctorandus MM, CIQNR, from Universitas Muhammadiyah Sidoarjo. For Dr. Sriono, Dr. Randus MM, CIQNR. Are you here, Doctor?
Yes.
Okay, Doctor. The time is yours, Doctor.
Yes. Thank you, Miss Siti. Your name is very difficult to chat. Miss Siti Alhamra Salkura. That's
Yes,
right?
Doctor. Yes, right. Thank you, Doctor.
Okay. Thank you for this time. The first of all, I would like to say the excellencies Professor Dr. Dadan Ramadan as a rector, and then all the speakers today. The first one, wait a minute. The first one and Dr. Nora Sikin Hussein from the University of Technology Jamara, and the second one, Mr. Ahmad Rafiki, MNG PhD, CMA Universitas Medan Area, and the last Dr. Asmiri Nur from this Surabaya. Okay, I will share my material. Okay. You can see, Mrs.
Yes, Doctor. We can see your PowerPoint, Doctor. But Dr. Sriono,
Okay.
I'm sorry before that we cannot see your face clearly.
Oh yeah.
Perhaps it's because the virtual background,
Okay. Okay.
or maybe you can turn off the virtual
Okay.
background, Doctor.
Okay. Okay.
Thank
Wait
you,
a minute.
Doctor.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And then
Now we can see you clearly, Doctor.
right now, clearly my face.
Not so clear, but before it's clear, Doctor.
Okay. Idea this my background. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay. That's right. Okay. Thank you, Miss Siti. Okay. Like this, I say before the excellency Professor Dr. Dadan and the all speakers. Today I'm really happy because I can join with this seminar international in the program visiting professor in the University Medan Mara. Right now, I will try this. My Excel, my little bit is my opinion about this our condition in the words actually in Indonesia. Maybe this is my topic. Actually, this is related with our theme in the seminar, human resources strategies or developing small business. But right now, I will offer to the all audience, actually, or the governments and our professional in the academics. Let's save them. Let's save them. Let's save them. Okay. Let's save them. Who help our countries business perspective. The topic actually about this SMEs because SMEs this is very important because the SMEs in the world they are even though they have the problem problem about this monetary crisis, and then about this economic condition and others, but they still can be running the activity. Before I telling more and more, my agenda for this moment. The first one, I will tell about this introduction, about this topic, what kind this background, this topic I choose for this moment. And then the second one about this problem and this contribution. And the third one about this, how to save them. It means how to save the SMEs from this the worst condition. And then the last conclusion about this topic. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we still remember some of the event, the words we have bad consequences about this condition. And my slide is, I put this slide about this graph. There are a lot of the bad condition in our economy in the words. The first one about this currency crisis in the 1997, and there is .com crash in the 2000, and then the 2009 about the subprime crash and global finance crisis, and the last about this COVID-19 shock. So about this all the condition, there are impact to our economy and our country and the economy in the world. So today I will focus for the last accident about this COVID-19 shock. What the impact of the COVID-19 in the world? In my slide, I put the condition about this unemployment level in the South Asian region. For this condition, we can see unemployment in the South Asian region. There are fluctuative depend the country, and the highest incidence of the unemployment is in the world in the country. I think the Nepal, yeah, and about the blue one, just the blue one on the crab and the crab, and the highest incident and at the lowest, this is the highest. I think the highest unemployment, not the Nepal, but in the third one, Afghanistan, yeah, Afghanistan, and the lowest in the Nepal. This is condition impact of the COVID-19 on the unemployment. And then how does it impact on the stock market? Stock markets, I put in the sum of the stock market in the words, Nikkei, Shanghai, Dow Jones, Italy. There are some value difference because impact COVID-19 in the country depend to how the country solve the problem well, and how do the country manage well to making COVID-19 disappear in the world or in the country. There's Nikkei 22.9%. I think this still good, but in the Italy minus 5.3%. This condition is indicator that the COVID-19 have big impact on the stock market. As we know, the stock market is very important to our country, because from the stock market we can get capital, and from the capital we can get investor, and then we can extend our manufacture. Especially in the SMEs, according to survey 2020 and 20, there is some problem we can see in this our PPT. According this survey, the responding Smes closing for on average 16 weeks in the 2020, and then 61% professional and IT staff working completely from home. And then all this information, we can see impact of the COVID-19, more than 70% of Smes report decrease and turnover and 2020. This is very important to thinking how to solve the problem, because the condition, this condition in the SMEs, we cannot solve the problem. The impact more than bigger than right now. Industry COVID spending 85% on the COVID-19 related compliance measure, and then 15% on new product processes. So from this moment, save our space in our country, because this is very important. Why it is very important? Actually, Smes have a lot of contribution to our country. Why should Smes? Why should we save SMEs? Because like I told before, SMEs is very important to grow up to our economy and our country. Ladies and gentlemen, and my slide next, this one, this is information. There are a lot of information about this contribution SMEs to employment and value added to some country. The first one to the Euro, non-financial business sector, according to Muller and all. And then the report and the European Commission recognized that the fast-growing firm play a very important role of our community development. So from this means the country will get a lot of this money from this GDP, and the country will be running to grow economy. And then the next slide, the SME's contribution to GDP. This information from the this country, Pakistan, and then Bangladesh, India, Vietnam, Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, Malaysia, Republic of Korea, and Japan. From all the countries, actually, SMEs have a lot contribution to GDP. From this slide, we can see the highest contribution to GDP from this Japan. I mean, the color is Japan. And then how about this ASEAN country? Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, Malaysia. I think they has only contribution to the GDP. So because SMEs have contribution, can be reduce unemployment, and then can be create activity business. So we must think really about this, how to save our SMEs in order to more better and better. Another information, country-wise SMS statistic, this information 2016, the Thailand and Philippines, Australia, China, India, Japan, Korea, Malaysia, Indonesia, New Zealand, Singapore, and Vietnam. There are different contribution from the SMEs. The highest from the Chinese, because Chinese there are a lot of people and there are a lot of SMEs, and there are a lot of contribution in GDP. And then the Japan too, 50%, and another country have a contribution from Smes to GDP. How about Indonesia? Indonesia contribution to GDP like this one. This is especially from the ASEAN, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand. The SMEs have a lot contribution from GDP and the employment. So from this data, we can get information. Actually, SME is very important. This very important to thinking in order to Smes can the recovery from the COVID-19. Ladies and gentlemen, save our small business. We must thinking together how to save our small business in our country, in Indonesia, Malaysia, maybe in Bahrain, maybe in Thailand, and so on. How? This question is how to save this our Smes. We can see Smes actually needed some information and some information and some institutional to help them in order to can recovery from this COVID-19. The first one, they needed about this access to the information, because the information is very important, timely, relevant, personalized, want-to-go information in local languages and so on. This information, this is important in order to Smes understand what this condition right now. And the second one about this access to finance. This is actually the big problem before incident this COVID-19. The SMEs, they have problem about this access to finance until right now. Bankable business plan, linkage to payable funding, and then how to make report the finance, how to make the strategic planning, performance, finance, how to make budgeting. This is very important to understand from this Smes, because actually they don't understand about it one. So the third one about access to markets, new available sales channel and business partner locally and overseas. This is very important to do, because right now, like in Indonesia, maybe some of them, maybe 15% more, they have system marketing despite conventional, because this sales the product in the market conventional, and then just they sell and the product in their community, and they have thinking about this how to make a marketing ideal like this using medias, lighting this internet, lighting this digital marketing. They just thinking for the conventional market, because according to them, system right now system before this COVID-19, this is okay. This all product can be sold, but there is accident like COVID-19, they're difficult to sell this product. And the first one, access to training and skill labor, quality training, opportunities, availability of skilled labor. This is not enough. The Smes understand about this quality, about this efficiency and effective and so on. So we must put them to the training and then have the education about this business. And the last, to become more competitive, increasing sales streamline, cost more efficient, and the processes. This is important because if the Smes in our country just thinking for the locally, that the difficult to compete to the overseas. They must step by step improve the product, step by step improve the management, and then improve the marketing, and then improve the knowledge. Ladies and gentlemen, this according to the Oman Smes ecosystem, actually there is 5, and then before there is what the need, and right now what is ecosystem we can make it under the SMEs. There are 5 other 5 ecosystem: the mass human capital, the second one government, the third one finance, and the support and technology. It's ecosystem from this over there. This is need to give to the Smes, because they do not understand about this, how to making improve the human capital, knowledge, skill, experiences, studies and research, confidence, success, and stories. This is very important to learn for the Smes. And then government, actually how to government makes regulation, one-stop point, government policy and spreading and culture and business protection. This is important because a government will be making regulation good, all the activity business will be good and better. And then finance capital, official finance, private finance, and insurance. This is the Swiss must understand about this one. How to make it, how to get the finance capital, how to get manage private financing and private corporate. This is very different. We must be spirit between private finance and private corporate. And family support is very important, because family support can be, if the family support really support this business, we can help our activity. Maybe our wife, our child, maybe they can help how to manage, contribute the product and so on. And then incubators, community support. This is important. And the last is access to database, internet availability, e-commerce, and innovation. Because if we use technology well, like this access to database, we can know how to access, we can know how to internet availability, and then innovation. I think the ecosystem Smes will be grow up, and then Smes will be better. We have them according to our rule. This is my opinion. How to solve the problem, or how to save them, because we are consist of a lot of different professional, as a citizen, as a government, as financial institutional, as a professional. As a citizen, we can have to be loyal consumer. It's been a quick example. If our neighbor sell this some product, so we must buy to this product. Don't you buy to another product from the foreigner? We must help them to buy the product more, and then repeat more. If the product not really well, we can advise to them until they can maintain the program. As a government like this one, the ecosystem providing cleanliness and is the business licensee reduction and tax burden. This is very important. The role of the government can providing this one. As a financial institution, they can providing funding on easy and inexpensive term, because right now, if the SMEs, if we get a loan, there are a lot required. Yeah, must fulfill the administration. This is very difficult for SMEs to fulfill this administration. So they cannot get loan from this financial institution. And as professional, maybe as teacher, as lecturer, and so on, we can conduct mentoring and training, education, mediation, collaboration, and so on. If all these component is in our people, like the citizen, a government, and financial institution, and profession, and we can think together, we can have together. I think our Smes in our country maybe fast to the grow up and can be recovery productivity. I get the sample like this government subsidized for Smes, can the loan categories, can be subsidized about this tax and the capacity, how capacity about this, they can help for them. Like this micro business and government micro credit, micro program in the country, we can help them. So Smes with loan between 500 million and 2 billion. This is all this rule of the government and the financial institution. For the financial measures, how to help them to save from this incidents COVID-19. Government subsidized loan, credit guarantee, vendor capital join, maybe like this one. Maybe can be get from the Japanese Finance Corporation, and bank maybe can credit corporation, and so small and business investment consulting companies. There are a lot kind of the financial measure for this Smes. And how to advisory and capacity building channels. Smes can seek assistance from like this one, entrepreneurship development, and by the entrepreneurs, by the innovative startup, ICT, export, enhancement, and micro entrepreneurs. This is we can do to help the Smes in order to can recovery from their activity. And the Malaysia Productivity Corporation, and the Malaysia there is Suraja Sarikat and Technology Park Malaysia. This is some of sample in the advisory capacity building this channel. And we can show the from this fighting proposal to increase liquidity for Smes. We can increase liquidity. No limit at loan amount granted to borrowers was required will be considered on the case by case basis, and maximum 5% interest rate like this one. Maybe by final SARI. This is we can set the result from this profit, and then principal cut during amortization to reduce loan value like this one, and we can reduce minimum interest rate until 1%, or maybe the 0%. This is example in the Bangkok Post-Tripik. We can see a lot this learn about this, how to save the Smes by another country, which one is suitable we can use to our country. So our conclusion for this material, the first one, even though Smes have a big contribution to economic growth, but it also has weaknesses. So the Smes really needed our help, our contribute to the Smes to help them. And the second one, complete and structured rescue measures are needed. It means they cannot needed the Smes partial strategic. Just we help about this financial, but we have no help about this how to manage, not like that. So we must completely structure rescue together. We save them simultaneous from the management, financial, marketing, until the how to running well and the sustainability. All parties can helping according to their capacity and rules, like I tell before, as a government regulation, the makes easy regulation, and the professional they can mentoring, they can learning education, give them education, and then to make the practice, we can direct go to the Smes and help them how they making a report of finance. And the last, this is very important, done continuously and consistently. This is we cannot just we have 1 year, we have just a 6 month, because the program to save our Smes in our country must continuous, must consistent. So if we do consistent, I think our SMEs in our country will be better, and they can recover this condition, and then they can starting activity again, and they can contribution to the our GDP. So this is my material. Thank you for your attention, and sorry if there is something missing in the PPT. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Sriono, Dr. Randus MM, CIQNR, for the explanation and presentation. So now we know that the COVID-19 impacts the stock market with highly in Nikkei, yes, sir, yeah?
Yeah.
And then even 61% professional and IT staff work from home completely. And the highest SMEs contribution to GDP in Asian country is Japan.
Yes.
And thank you for the presentation, Dr. Sriono, Dr. Randus MM, CIQNR.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome, sir. And since Assistant Professor Dr. Muzaffar Asad not feeling well, and also Professor Dr. Sri Langgeng Ratnasari SAMM in signal issue, means out of coverage area. So we are going to open the Q&A session. So it's the time for the discussion. So all the participants, we have 30 minutes, around 20 minutes, sorry, to discuss anything around topic human resource strategies in developing small businesses. So for whomever have question, please leave the question in the comment section, or perhaps we can invite you to the participants to ask directly to the speaker. To all participants, all lecturers, open discussions about any relevant topic is welcome. And jika ada yang ingin menggunakan bahasa, bahasa is allowed in this seminar. Later on, I will translate the question into English. So, is there any question for the participant? Okay, so now we have two people, Bapak Andi Zamudra and Bapak Dedi Turmudi FKIP UM Metro. I think, who's the first one, sir? I forgot, maybe Bapak Dedi Turmudi first? And then after that, please Bapak Andi Zamudra. For Bapak Dedi Turmudi, the time is yours, sir. The volume still mute, sir. I see. So since the voice is mute, I think maybe Mr. Dedi Turmudi can write in the comment section, sir. Is it okay, sir? Okay, thank you, Mr. Dedi Turmudi. For Mr. Andi Zamudra, the time is yours, sir. Sir, I'm sorry, still mute, sir. Or IT, perhaps the IT could help us. Sir Andi Zamudra, still no sound, sir.
Please open. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay,
All
sir.
right. Okay. Thank you, Miss Siti, Ibu Siti, as moderator, right? Okay. First of all, I want to introduce myself. My name is Andi Zamudra, as a student of university at Riau Kepulauan, Batam. Right. The honorable to all of the speakers, especially from Malaysia. Teknologi Malaysia Utara, and from Indonesian, Dr. Siono, Asminur, and other. Okay, I want to ask to Miss Dr. Nur Asikin Hussein, Ibu Siti Alhamra, right? Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes, right. Talk about the employer in the every PT or corporation, I mean, yeah. So we have to know is the compensation, right? Or the compensation or wages. So I want to know, in Indonesia, we have to term is the regional minimum wage. Yeah, the equal with the safety net for the employer will receive for months. So how to in the Malaysia the compensation about the compensation or wages or salary for we have to give the employer is that zero experience. Yeah. Okay, Bu Siti Alhamra. That's right. That's all. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Sir Andi Zamudra, for the question.
Right.
So the question from Bapak Andi Zamudra is for Dr. Nurashikin Hussein. For Dr. Nurashikin Hussein, perhaps you want to answer it directly, or maybe need time, Doctor? Oh, directly. Oh, okay. So, Doctor, the time is yours.
Assalamualaikum. Pak Andi, thank you for the question. So
Yes.
currently Malaysia, we also have the minimum wage where in May 2022, this year, it has been suggested that the minimum wage to be increased to 1,500 ringgit. Yeah, and however, there are still some discussion going on the matter where the SMEs especially, they found this as very, very challenging. Yeah, and then however, from the perspective of HR, this is in line with the rising cost of living in Malaysia currently. And your question just now was on, whether should we implement this for fresh graduates? What was it?
Yes, right. The zero experience. So how much the company will pay to them?
Well, employees with no experience, it would depend on their qualification.
I see. Right.
Yeah, in Malaysia, for example, if you are a fresh graduate, normally you would be hired, certain sectors, certain industry, and a certain qualification, you would definitely get higher. You can get like, Rm 2,000 a month or even more. And
Right.
in the case of minimum wage, definitely it is a challenge for small companies lah. But then if the government say that that would be the minimum wage that would be paid, then the employees have to follow in line with the new guideline stated by the government.
Okay, okay,
Alright.
nice. Okay, Dr. Nur Asikin, thank you very much.
Thank you for the question.
Yes, right.
Thank you, Dr. Norashikin Hussein, for the answer. Thank you, Bapak Andi Zamudra, for the question too. And I think we are going back to Bapak Dedi Turmudi. Sorry, sir, before that, because we closed the access. Now the time is yours, sir.
Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, and especially for presenters today, I missed some part of the seminar because I had another thing to do before this, but I was quite eager to join this seminar. My question is, I don't know to whom, but I think to the last presenter, or maybe from Ibu just now, who explained about the minimum wage in Malaysia, right? Okay, anyone of the presenter can answer my question. So my question is, what is the implementation of supporting technology 4.0 basis or 5.0 basis into entrepreneurship program of the government? I mean, I got a little point from Pak Dr. Siapa ya tadi yang terakhir? So the question is, how the government implement 4.0 technology to support the entrepreneurship, and I mean 5.0 technology. Thank you. Hello.
Okay, thank you, Sir Dedi Turmudi, for the question. Perhaps for the presenter, dimulai dari the presenter. Wait a minute, please. Perhaps Bapak Ahmad Rafiki, PhD. Or maybe Bapak Dr. Asmirin Nur, perhaps want to answer the question from Bapak Dedi Turmudi, since the question is how the government implements 5.0 in SMEs nowadays. Is that the question, sir?
Exactly. 4.0 and 5.0. 5.0. So 4 and 5. Because in reality, yeah, 4 and 5 is okay. I mean, they are, most people are migrating from 4.0 to 5.0 technology.
Okay, thank you for your question, Mr. Dedi Turmudi. I think it's better if I answer in Bahasa. Yeah, can I answer in Bahasa?
Sure, sir. Sure.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Jadi pada era industri 4.0 dan society 5.0, sebenarnya langkah-langkah yang harus dilakukan oleh pemerintah terhadap UMKM ya atau Smes tadi, yang paling bijak adalah bagaimana membekali para pelaku UMKM itu dengan kemampuan digitalisasi. Jadi termasuk salah satunya poin yang paling penting adalah kalau berdasarkan pada hasil riset saya tadi, bagaimana sistem promosi yang bisa dilakukan oleh para pelaku industri kecil dengan cara terdigitalisasi. Jadi mereka menggunakan beberapa alat yang berhubungan dengan teknologi informasi ya baik itu startup yang dibuat oleh pemerintah sendiri maupun nanti yang dibuat dari pihak luar atau yang dibuat oleh aplikasi-aplikasi yang dibuat oleh para pengguna atau pemilik dari usaha kecil itu sendiri. Oleh karena itu pengetahuan tentang teknologi informasi dan digitalisasi itu menjadi satu keharusan yang dikembangkan pemerintah untuk mendampingi para pelaku usaha kecil dan menengah di Indonesia. Oke, mungkin itu salah satu jawaban saya, Pak Dedi Termudi. Terima kasih. Mohon maaf kalau ada kekurangan. Ya.
Thank you, sir. It's quite clear.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Asmirin Nur, or perhaps Dr. Sriono, Dr. Randus MM. Is there any maybe some part that you want to deliver to Mr. Dedi Turmudi, sir?
Okay, Ms. Siti, I add this answer from this Dr. Asmirin Nur, yeah. Okay, thank you for the Mr. Dedi Turmudi for this question. This is a question is very basically from our government because how the implementation 4.0 or 5.0 to Smes, this is very important. I think we all this participants understand, and then this education from this our Smes really low. This is just maybe from high senior, maybe some of them maybe elementary senior, but they have motivation, good motivation, and then they can make it business well. But when there is a disruption for industry 4.0 or 5.0, the government must be proactive to socialization. What is the meaning of the 4.0 and 5.0 industry synergies? This is really important. Then they gave them learning about that, because the first socialization, I think the Smes not really care about that one, because they just thinking, I just sell them my product and then the buyer can buy it, is okay, but they're not thinking the future. So the government had the hard task to socialization this program first. Until the all Smes understand this program, maybe by institution department like this Smes, maybe like this department this trading like this one. If they all understand, and then the government making program how to making the internet things to improve their business, because we cannot first to hope the Smes understand about this condition, because they have low educated. So I just additional the answer, maybe except this Mr. Amirin say, maybe to solicitation the program about this condition, and to mentoring about and then to training about this program well. This really understand about this program. I think this is more important to implementation industry 4.0 or 5.0. I think this one, Ms. Sisti.
Thank you, Dr. Sriono, for the answer. Perhaps Dr. Norashikin Hussein from Malaysia. Please, the time is yours, Doctor.
Are you referring to the IR 4.0 and 5.0?
Yes, yes.
Right.
Yes, but perhaps a brief explanation about the condition in Malaysia, sir, Doctor.
All right. I think it has been highlighted by Dr. Rafiki just now, where many startups or small businesses, micro businesses, are being pioneered by the youngsters, and they are very much focused on technology advancement. So what Malaysia is doing, there are certain agencies that actually provide training and also incentive for the new and young entrepreneurs that would like to venture into technology-based industry among small businesses. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Norashikin Hussein. Hopefully, this answers could answer your question, Dr. Bapak Dedi Turmudi. And right now we have Mr. Rafiu. Mr. Rafiu, perhaps you can ask directly, sir. The time is yours.
Thank you, Mrs.
Siti, sir.
Amra, Siti Alhamra.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
thank
Thank you,
you.
sir.
I think my question is to Dr. Norashikin. Okay, she mentioned some HR strategies that two of them are hiring the right employee and reskilling, that is retraining the SMEs employees. So my question is this: in the light of the fact that SMEs have limited income and resources, how can they retrain and how can they hire the best hands and reskill the employees at a minimum cost? Then there's usually the challenges of retaining the employees after adding value to them. For instance, when you send them through training, at the end of the day, they may be smashed by the big companies. So how can they do this successfully without losing part of their revenue, which is limited already? Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rafi. Thank you, Sir Rafiu, for the question. To Dr. Norashikin Hussein, the time is yours, Doctor.
Thank you for the question, Sir Rafiu. All right, we talked just now on the limitation of SMEs in terms of resources. Number one is in terms of hiring the right people. Yeah. So what SMEs or small businesses can do is actually to utilize, number one, the social media platform. Yeah. If you look at the trend now, many business owners actually approach the potential candidate directly through their media, social media platform, which is quite cost effective, and they can actually also use LinkedIn, for example, for networking. Yeah, and then the other way of doing it is actually by hiring internally. Yeah, by having a certain pool of employees who has potential and has the capabilities to fill up certain position in the organization, and perhaps the small businesses need to also be more creative by still using the traditional hiring methods such as word of mouth, yeah, employee referral, which is quite effective in hiring good and potential candidates. All right, that is one. Number two, when we talk about reskilling the workforce in Malaysia, for example, we have a Human Resource Development Fund, or HRDF. So in Malaysia, if you are a business owner with more than 10 employees, you are required by the government to contribute 1% of the total payroll to HRDF. So you can actually use this money for your training and development of your employees. So if, let's say, the company has around 5 to 9 employees, they are not compulsory to contribute to HRDF, but they are encouraged to contribute. So if you meet this criteria, you can actually use the money for training purposes reskilling the employees of your organization for small businesses. Yeah, Mr. Rafiu, do I answer your question?
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rafiu, for the question, and thank you, Dr. Norashikin Hussein, for the answer. And the last one, if may, the last one from Miss Tri Astuti. Miss Tri Astuti wants to ask to Dr. Norashikin Hussein. If may, Doctor, just one last question. The question is, how Malaysia government strategy to enrich the human resource in small business? Well, perhaps it's clearly, obviously, that Dr. Norashikin already explained about this topic, but maybe you want to ask a little bit more, Dr. Norashikin, or just keep it because it's already done. Obviously, you already answered the question.
Okay, I would like to add a few more points. Just now I mentioned about the Human Resource Development Fund that can be used by these small businesses to train their employees. Number two, Malaysia also have a few bodies to train the entrepreneurs. Yeah, for example, if let's say the entrepreneur is more into agricultural area, we have pharma. Federal Agricultural Marketing Authority, where they have a program that would equip the entrepreneurs with skills and knowledge in terms of agricultural area. Yeah, and we also have MARA. We have a few bodies, Perbadanan Usahawan Nasional Berhad. We also have Institute Keusahawanan Negara. So in fact, under the Kementerian Pembangunan Usahawan, for example, they even have professional training and education for growing entrepreneurs, for the youngsters who are interested to be entrepreneurs. So these are some of the initiatives by the Malaysian government in enriching the human resource capabilities in the context of small businesses in Malaysia. If I would like to to ask question, how about Indonesia? Does the government provide all all sorts of training to the entrepreneurs? And under what body? Is there any specific government body that is specializing on this?
Okay, perhaps Dr. Sriono or Dr. Asmirin or Sir Ahmad Rafiki wants to give a little bit, what do we call it? Highlight or a preview about in Indonesia.
Okay. Maybe Dr. Asmirin.
Yeah.
You can
Okay.
answer first.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
I will add additional about your answers. Yeah. We can answer together.
Okay, I think about my little sentence about UMKM or Smes. Yeah, the government must support our UMKM. Not only about infrastructure, not only about training, education, but also about regulation. That is for our government, and then for the owner of small business must increase their knowledge in business, must be creative and must be full of innovation to do a business. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you.
Okay, I additional about this answer. Ms. Dr. Norashikin, in Indonesia, we built this training center. Almost every province, maybe every profit or part of profit, they have operating center about the some of specialist production. like the in Sidoarjo, we have training center about the shoes. Yeah, how to make shoes well. There are a big office. Maybe this place can be a training until 50 50% to training about this how to making shoes well. How to make a bag like this one. In Sidoarjo we have training center, and then another city they have two training center. So like this, Dr. Aswin say, not only infrastructure but a training education regularly program. This can create to the SMEs to join this program. But this is SMEs is very difficult to teach them because they have a low education. We understand this one, this condition. So the program must be step by step from the another places and another places about this technical, what kind of product, maybe about the food favorite. We have training center how to making food well like this, health food like this one. I think this in Indonesia just like that one, yeah. Training center we built up about this to training the Smes. But this one, the Smes is very difficult to learn about this competency to understand this program. But we must step by step, and then it's the starting up. Maybe this more long time to give training, but in this access Smes maybe more easy like this one. Okay, thank you, Miss Siti. This my answer, and Mr. Dr. Asmirin.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sriono and Dr. Asmirin Nur for the answer. Since so many questions comes from participants, but we only have limited time, I think, although it's very interesting moment for us. So I hope this information and event could increase our knowledge, especially in HR in SMEs. And before we close our program today, our visiting professor program, we are going to take a picture for a while. And for the participants, those who attended in this international webinar, could you open up the camera, please? Boleh mohon bantuannya untuk para Bapak Ibu yang hadir di program ini, boleh dibuka kamera dulu. Bapak Dr. Sriono sudah siap-siap, baik. Okay, IT team, is it ready?
I'm very happy if there is take a picture.
Ya, tim IT apakah sudah siap? Kita ambil gambar, mungkin boleh aba-abanya tim IT. Tim IT. Oh, sebentar ya Bapak Ibu.
Ya Bu. Ya Bu.
Oke, ya. Bapak mungkin boleh dibantu untuk screenshot-nya. Saya bantu aba-aba.
Ya. Oke Bu, oke.
Baik. Okay, now we are ready. 1, 2, 3. Oke, since ada 8 screen, sebentar kita tahan sebentar. 1, 2, 3. Tim IT atau PIC sekiranya sudah selesai tercapture semua, mungkin boleh dibantu infokan. Ini kayaknya
kiranya udah aman Bu untuk screenshotnya Bu.
Oh, baik. So this is the end for our visiting professor program for today. Thank you for the presenter. Thank you for the participants consistently join in the seminar since the first time until right now. And let's close our event by citing Hamdalah. Alhamdulillah. And before we close this section, please apologize if I made mistakes during this webinar. And mistake is from me, while the perfection is from Allah. On behalf of Universitas Medan Area, see you in the next series, inshallah. Stay safe and keep healthy everywhere. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Terima kasih
warahmatullahi
Bapak Ibu.
Oh,
Terima
I would
Terima
like
kasih.
say
Sama-sama.
I would like to say thank you to Mr. Ahmad Rafiki.
Makasih,
Mr. Ahmad Rafiki, because the coordination about this program,
Makasih,
Mr. Ahmad Rafiki. Thank you, Mr. Asmirin,
Ya, terima
Ya.
kasih Pak.
Surabaya,
Tetanggaan Pak.
Dr. Nur, Malaysia. I have sent email for you. Maybe you can reply this my email. Thank you, Miss Sisti.
Terima kasih.
Saya kirim assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima
Bapak Dr.
kasih,
Sugiono,
Mbak Siti.
Bapak